This is going to be a collaboration with Junk Journal Junkies, Yvonne Preston, or Yvonne Crafty White Preston. Well, most of you know Yvonne anyway, and she's organised a load of digital designers, and they're all bringing out like a freebie and then doing a project and some videos. Hopefully, you know, I haven't checked, but I'm sure there's a playlist because I know Yvonne's pretty organised, so I will share the playlist below. Okay, and it all links to a freebie. I've done, I think there's a 5 or 6 page, I can't remember, but I've done a mini cluster kit. Okay, it's sort of like a sample of my cluster kits that I've done a few years ago now, but they are very popular because you get a lot of small elements and you can make loads of things up. So I've done a mini one for you, and these are, I'll sort of explain a bit. That's the sort of toppers where I've done them in 2 sizes, you know. So I've just so that I can fill the page, right? And we can use those. These are the cluster bits, and they're all shrunk down so that you can use them, and you can use bits of this. You don't use a whole thing, so which I'll show you in. And I've got a page of samples. Haven't done any samples yet. This is why I'm sort of doing this a little bit early, and then I'll put this on the beginning of the video because I'm going to make up a few samples, and my sister's going to make up a few as well with the kit. So, and there's a different take on it. And then you've got a decoupage sheet with some flowers and that. Then you've got some backgrounds for ripping and tearing. Okay, all small different prints. So, because you only need little bits. I did do, this was a sort of an afterthought really, and I thought, oh, it would be nice to have some little envelopes with a little cluster inside, so I put them in. That was the extra, but that's when I wrote everything up there. So okay, in collaboration with over at Junk Journal Junkies. I think it's shared quite regularly. Then a washi tape page, which I print on vellum or tracing paper, and then I'll put double-sided tape on the back and cut them out. Okay, so that's it before I've done that there. And then these are the samples. So I actually done these on the computer. Okay, but I thought, well, I was just playing around with shapes and what size I wanted to incorporate, you see. So that's why I done this, and I thought, oh, they look quite nice actually. So I've done it as a sample page, but you can cut these out and use them, you know, quite easily. So yeah, so I sort of play around with all the bits and then see what I like, and just to get the correct size of everything as well. But some might be a little bit odd. I think the washi tapes end up a little bit bigger than that. But most of the flowers and some of the toppers, but then I did enlarge some of them as well. So if you want to do a big cluster. Okay, so that is the kit. And next we'll do a little project. Okay. Right, hello everybody. I thought I would show you a few projects using the kit. I've cut most of it up, so can't show you again, but you should have seen the clip just before the video. And with all the pages, I'm going to go to the sample page, and yeah, I put some together. Right, now I will say I don't think I included this one here, but if I find it, I thought I included all the backgrounds on one of the pages, but most of them I did, but this one seems to, I can't find. Okay, so, but if I find it, I'll put it on the Ko-fi page. All right, I'll just put a sheet of it all so you can cut it up and whatever, do what you want to, but the rest is all there. Okay, and some of the sizes might differ a little bit because the washi tape was a little bit bigger, and what else was it? Yeah, some of the, like the music, it was getting everything in. All right, so I had to scale some of it down a little bit, but the concept will still be the same. You'll still be how to do it. I mean, you might have a music book anyway, and you can tear your own pages. I just put it there for, you know, a bit of fun, and don't forget these can be used as well, which I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I thought I'd make this one up, okay, and just show you how it looks, all right, done with the actual kit, all right, but we can work on this one here, all right. Have I got it in front of me? No. What I do? I'll put that there, because I would go off on a different tangent, me. I most probably wouldn't do the same again ever, but that's just the way I roll. So I use this card here, all right, so that's one of the, so I've cut it all out, inked up. Okay, I use, these are laminated sheets, as I put them in my little book here if I'm not using them for anything. Okay, I've got loads in here that I go to time and time again. I mean, these are some of my other cluster kits. Okay, and I've made them up slightly bigger. This is a mini cluster kit, all right, just so I could get more in for you to play with. So I had to scale everything down, but yeah. So I put them in here, but if you haven't got that, the sticker sheets, relief paper on the back is pretty good too. All right, but what I do, so I noticed it was sticking sometimes, especially the old paper I was using on some of the backgrounds, because it's fragile, it would stick to this. So I ended up just putting a bit of, what do they call that? You put roll sandwiches in it, and it's slightly glassine, isn't it? And I use the shiny side. Okay, I'll stick the other side down because that'll peel off great. All right, but you can also, when it's behind it, you can just tear it away. You don't need it, and it's thin. So right, okay, let's get going. Enough faffing around. And right, so that's, I picked that one out, and I thought it was quite fun having the sample sheet there, and I've actually used the samples in quite a few things, so they're going to be very useful for you. Originally it was just to show you, you know, have a visual aid on what I've done rather than having to watch a video. Just, you know, it was just a extra printable sheet. So right, so I'm going to place everything, which I think, so I've just cut one of those down. All right, it's not exactly the same as the picture. I'll just cut one of the, or you can tear it, you don't have to cut it straight, any of them. You can ruffle the edges up. All right, so that's our main focal point. Okay, and then we start sort of like thinking, right, okay, that goes behind. I know people struggle with clusters, so I mean, I love doing them. I don't, but I'm not saying they're all perfect by far, but you know, you just have a bit of fun and let's go from there. I think it's great because I can't wait to see what you make with it, to be honest. I really can't. And then that sort of go in there somewhere. Okay, and then we have tape. All right, so at the moment I'm going to stick this layer down. All right, I think that needs to go about there. So I'm going to do it this way today. I usually do it back to the front for some reason, but I'm going to do the other way, just seeing if that works for me. So there. And then that one, I can put him down, can't I? Yeah. And sometimes I'll cut these up because you've got 3 individual ones there that can be little snippets. Yeah, I don't want to stick it down yet because I might put something behind it. Okay, so I'm going to just stick that on there. That up there because I don't want to see that line here. There. Oh, and I've cut the washi tape out and put it in a roll. Been very good there. Okay, let's do it so it's there. And that's there. Did have a bit that come down here as well, but I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to put tape. All right, do you think I need something down the bottom there though? But I might put a bit of tape, yeah. Right, I can never find things when they're tucked away. So I did. Yeah, we could do that, but I don't want to. No, I'm going to add tape. Right, okay. Right, now, I've backed one of the sheets onto cards. Right, you can put it on, back it onto book pages, you know, whatever, really. Because I actually think it looks quite nice if you make them bigger again, like that. Just stepping up. So I'm going to do that. So this would be quite a large one. I'm just doing that. I don't worry too much of the gluing for now. All right. It's about there, wasn't it? Okay, I will put that there. That is out there, isn't it? And that's quite a large one, isn't it? So what I do now is I just put a tiny bit of glue there. Okay, and then stick that on there. And it lays flat in my book, so okay. And these sort of things you can put glossy accents on, you know, you can do it a bit like that. And also, you know, when you add it to the page, you can do a bit of stamping around it, which I will show you loads of samples. Because my sister actually done a little journal where she used a lot of these right the way. She had a fairly blank journal, and then she used these all the way through. And it really came together beautifully. Right, so that's that one. So should we do one? Oh, and the little envelopes. I had a vision that you could have some little like clusters in here, which is great. But I did notice they fit the little postcards. So if you just wanted to have one of those in and do it as an envelope, you know, but I didn't do... I made them so that they didn't actually shut together because I wanted them, it was a decoration like this. Okay, so look. All right, so they aren't done for an envelope. But anyway, you still could put that onto the page. It was more for a decoration. All right, which we could do that. Shall we decorate one and stick that in there? Okay. I shall stick that down with, yeah, I'm going to go now. Okay. Right, let's put something in. Definitely got to put that in, haven't we? Okay, right, I think I've got it. So what I'm going to do is pull that out, yeah. Maybe have that just a bit higher, like so. There we go. perfect. Right, so it's just making a little cluster up. It's a little bit fiddly at first. It's just seeing how you want it to go. And then once you've got it right, okay, and then that can, I mean, you could tuck the bottom off. Well, you don't need to actually. And then just pop that in now. And there we go. And I expect if you find some little ticket or something, that could go in there as well. Or anything that's cut off of there, look, that can go in there. Okay. Yeah. That's that one. I do usually do them on the back, but I wait for the glue to dry first. Right, let's do another one then. So I'm only using that bit, not exactly how it is on the picture, because I'm going to use the bit that's left over. Okay, and I'm going to put, and that's different, but a bit will work. And then that's behind, but it's better if it's the right way up. Okay. It's supposed to be behind that there, but because we're using a different thing, I think that'll be all right there, because we're going to use, I think that wants to go there, so this needs to move up. Yeah, so you're not, it's just lost. Okay, so I'm wondering, yeah, not quite right, is it? Not for me. Okay, sorry, look like a chuck that way. Don't want that. Oh dear, let's get the card. And the mushroom. Have I used, I might have, because I've made a few things up, you see, so yeah. Oh, there he is, the little babby one. I think would be nice on there. I'm actually going to use that. It's right. To find another way of using that other ones. Like I say, I tried to add as much as I could for you all. There's loads of little bits here. Oh, there was another blue one. Look. Okay, putting them all back in there because they're now getting lost again. Okay, right, I'm just going to lift this up because I don't know whether that's it. Yeah, it is straight. Right, let's have a look. Let's do something different. Where are you, mushroom? Let's have a little look at you. I'm going to do that. Okay. Lined up with there, I think. Okay. And with these, you take them out, you see, and you can just, and you just peel off paper. And then you can, I know this is showing, but you can rip that back. Okay, here's another one. Right, washi tape. I'll just tidy up a minute and then have a sip of my coffee and I'll get the washi tape ready. Right, I'll show you how I use the washi tape and what I've done. Like I said, I've done it with double-sided sticky tape and then I trim it all down, okay, and then I peel back one of those and stick that together. Use a little bit, you lose a little bit, not much, okay, and then you just peel off the bits that you want. Okay, I do want a bit of this. Okay, and then, like, I'll just show you what I do now. On this bit here, all right, you need to peel back if you're not going to use this and re-stick it down. Okay, I might have some there. No, I'll do it this side. Yeah, you just peel it up. You see, all right, just a little bit. And then you stick that down there. Oh, it's shiny. Slipping, sorry folks, I'm snapping. And then you put that on there, okay. And then that joins it, all right, just keeps it, because I had what did I have, a big sort of folder with it all sticking in the top, but I wanted it longer, if you know what I mean, because it's 11 inches and I didn't do a journal that cover, and it all at that size, so it all got bent and buckled over, and I thought, do you know what, it's better if it's put in a little roll and then we can go from there. Right, okay, so here is the tape. I mean, it looks white at the moment, background, but it's actually not. It's clear. Okay, so I wouldn't normally do this until I'd put it in the journal, because sometimes that's how I use it. I'll just show you where this one could go. Yeah, I would put it there. Yeah, so I will do that today, but all right. You've got to remember this is double-sided sticky tape, so I'll do that. Yeah. Then this one, what did we use on this one? Yeah, it was a bit here, wasn't there? A bit of the numbers. So, oh, I don't want to use those. I'm going to cut a bit off because I'll use more of this. Okay. And then I'll lose that bit, you see, now, which is fine, but I'll keep that bit of washi tape. Might need that. You never know. Okay, don't want as much as that. I'm just going to do a little bit, to be honest. That's all I want. See, that looks quite nice if it's done like so, yeah? And because we haven't stuck everything down, we can still poke things underneath. There we go. All right, and because that's now stuck on there, and when you peel it off, okay, it's going to be less sticky, so you just put a bit of glue under it. All right, this one here, shall we add a bit of washi there? Let's have a look. could look quite nice. This could be words, by the way, you know. Use your words. I think I've got some on my Ko-fi that's free. I'm sure I have. Was it there? There, wasn't it? I think there's some kids in the salon. There. Okay. Cut a bit straighter. Right, so that's that. Right, let's get on with another project. I'm going to make a little matchbook. Loads of tutorials out there. I mean, I've done these before myself. Okay, which I think I got one of the videos. I think it was Yvonne that I got the, you know, little idea with the little books that she used to do. I know there's loads of videos anyway, but these ones I'm doing this size because I thought they fit the sample cards, okay, which are again on here, and they fit these really nicely with a little bit of stamping and inking and everything. I think they'll look quite nice on those. So I do it, that's my measurements. Okay, don't take any notice of this. This is because I do it on here. Okay, but it's 8.5 lengthwise by 3 1/4 widthwise. Okay, and I score it 3 5/8, and then 7 5/8. Okay, on the bigger board. All right, but I'm doing it on this one, so I'll show you what I do for that. Okay, so I do it 3 5/8, yeah, which I worked it out as this triangle, but it's, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. Anyway, I worked it out to there. I'm sure I did. I think I measured it. There's that one. Yeah, and then what I do is I butt that up to the side, and then I do it at 4. Okay. Oop. Then that gives me that, and also that's a little bit shorter, okay, because you don't want it the same length. All right, so you've got room to put your either stitch along it or use your little this, yeah, so you put that in there. So I do it right down the bottom here. Okay, do the end first normally, and then I'll place one in the middle ish, like so. All right, then that fits in there nicely. There we go. Okay, because it just misses that, see? Perfect. Right, okay, what am I going to do? Ink up with that one? Or let's put that out the way. I think I will. Let's have a look. I'll have a bit of that, I think. Bit of oxide. Come on, where are you gone? I've had it all morning. Oh, there it is. There we go. Fade that out up a little bit. Okay, And they're quite nice if you actually, you know, collage the front of these as well. But I'm not today. I'm stamping. So, okay. Right, I'm going to use my little flower stamp, I think. And what have we got here? Vintage photo in the archival. Yeah. Look where that's going there. Looking quite nice. Do I want a bit of text? Yeah, I think no, I'm going to use this instead. Gosh, I have no idea where I got these from. Mind, these are my ones I use all the time, but my background ones. So a bit there. Not sure what we'll see, so do that for now. Let's have a little look. Yeah. Do one there, I think. Yep. So these are the ones that I've pre-done for you, samples. So rough up the edges a bit if you wanted to. A little bit too low. Time that goes in there, you see. Yep, that's better. And then we can always a little bit of this over that. Yep, I think I'll cut that off. Right. I think a little bit of that flower stamp. So I'm going to put that there. And I will just ink a little bit more. Okay, have we got some of these? I know I've got to go inside that line, all right? Do that for now. I'm going to go to there. Place mine, and I'm going to stitch mine in. Okay, just stitch it around across there, but you can just glue them in, or sometimes it's quite nice if there's grommets in the top. All right, I'm just going to stitch across there for me. Okay, so here's your little booklet. All right, and I thought I might put a bit of washi tape in that corner there. Just do that, and I'm gonna just wrap that inside. And that's done. Right, so that's another little project. Right, the next thing I know I was going to do, show you that again, these are using the ones that are already made up. Okay, these were the bits left from when I cut out the envelopes, because I printed, you know, the background onto the back of the envelopes. So that was the bits that was left. So I utilised that with just some music paper. Okay, so that was that. And I thought one of these might look nice. And then we could make them bigger. Put a bit of fabric behind. Any of those look quite nice on there. That's my favourite again. I love that one too. I'm going to have that one, I think. There's no green in there. No. I'll have that one. Okay. So anything like this, you can, again, make bigger. You do not have to stay with that. This is as it is. This is no I've got ink on my hands, look. No fabric or anything as yet. And then we can do tag. Yeah, I used to use a credit card, you know, to do the tag shapes, but I seem to get it right most of the time now, so don't worry. Right, shall we have a bit of washi tape? I just want to craft. I'm sort of seeing it. Yeah, I'm seeing it there really, somewhere. But it should have been underneath, but hey ho. I'm wondering. Yeah, we can. Look, that's it. Put it there. And that go on top. That's better. So we do another one of those. So we build up this time instead of using one of those. Got some bits here that we can use. Use a little, let's see what we've got. And that's the other tag. Okay. Right. Okay, I thought I would do up an envelope now. All right, this one's been embossed and lined and inked around. That's all. This coffee stained, little bit sort of, yeah, grungy there, but that's okay. It's a nice thick envelope. So I thought I would do it up. I'm going to do something. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's green. I'll just go around there a minute. Like that. Thought I might put, no, I don't need that there at all. I could put that there, which would look quite nice. That's only half. I think that's enough actually, because I want to do a bit of stamping. Okay, I had a little bit that I just stitched together that was hanging around. Look, took a couple of one of the strips music paper and just stuck it onto a bit of paper that was there. So that is going in that corner, I think. and an envelope. Right, so I went off and finished these off. I did add a little bit more to this envelope. I know I showed you most of it. I think it got to there. I thought I'd put that there so that'll keep the envelope down, and added a journaling card in that. Okay, I haven't done the back or anything. I would back that with lime paper, and sometimes I put little fabric tab here so that it makes it easier to pull out. That's the envelope we done with all the little snippets. That one, and then little book here I done. Yeah. Yeah, just made a little book out of it, done a tiny bit of stamping, not much. Like that. Little poem in the middle there. Just a little paper clip there to keep this down. Okay, and that's the back. So that was that. Then there was one other thing. I did print some of these onto fabric. Okay, I use full scat sticker sheets. This is inkjet, but I have used either like that over the top, all right, because it's not permanent, all right, whereas when I print on my laser, it's permanent, but this isn't. But I've used the distress glaze on the top, and it's brilliant. Didn't alter it at all or anything. That really looks good. So I did do that, and I've done one card at the moment. I'm going to do a few more, so I've got to check my hands. I've got to be really careful because it's white, and I have to do things like this first thing in the morning when my hands are and I'll just be really careful. Okay, so it's just a little card. So, and then just stitched around, done a little bit of embroidery there. It's not the neatest because I, wanted to do it quick. I do it onto separate card and then stitch it onto that separate card and then glue that piece of card onto that one, so it's all nice in there. Yeah, so that's another way of using those samples. I think they're great. A quick fix, I would say. If you're ever in a hurry to do anything, you're like, right, let's put that one on the front of something and be done. Right, so I'm going to go and I'm going to check the journal through now. Oh, I did do actually a couple more envelopes. Yeah, I've got to be careful because I haven't stuck everything in the envelopes. So I think you saw that. Yeah, it's just sort of these, like I say, they're not stuck in yet, but there's another little envelope there. And I think I've got some on the back. Yeah. Okay, so like I say, I haven't stuck them in yet. And then just done one of the large clusters with the large toppers. Right, so that works as well. Yeah, I wasn't going to put in the large ones, but because it was supposed to be a mini cluster kit, but I did. Yeah, I haven't used much of the backing paper at all, but sometimes I'll do that when it goes into a journal. Yeah, so right, let's show you the journal properly. I'll just move things out of the way and just sort of show you. All right, so this is what I mean about sort of that. We could put a flower in the top if I've got any left. Hold on a minute. Yes, I'm covering up my mess. Could put another flower in the top if we wanted. Yeah, but it's a little bit overkill, but okay. Oh, that's really lovely. Lovely journal, Janet. Okay, let's just show you the journal that she's just done. It's really to do, I think she put one together and then used these cards. She's done an index card there. Yeah, and put some snippets on, just pieces of it, just to show you that don't need a lot. Little envelopes coming out of this one, and like I said, she's done them tall ways, yeah, the long way. And I've done them the other way, purposely, because she done them like that. So, and then there's all the little snippet bits. Yeah. don't think there's anything on there. And then a tag. Yeah. Massive journaling card, which is absolutely adorable. Yeah. There, just put that on top of some, just a napkin on top of some parchment paper. Yeah, and then I'm not sure how, unless she was stenciled over the top of the napkin by the look of it. And put the flower on and then stenciled over the top. Yeah. A bit of gesso or something to create that. And there, and that's another napkin effect there, and she sort of included some of the bits as she printed hers out on paper. Yeah, so you get quite a flat design, so that's brilliant. So it sort of actually merges itself into the page, which is brilliant. And then using the washi tape through the journal, so it makes it cohesive right the way through. A little washi tape there. A little envelope in here, look. Yeah. Inked, beautiful, you know, with green, which is absolutely lovely. I love that, actually. It's really nice. Again, washi tape used. And on the back there. Another little envelope there. And some more of a stenciling by the look of it in the back there. That's a napkin over, I would say, a map. Map, then a napkin over the top. That's cool. Peeking through that. Again, just, oh, this is nice. I quite like that effect where she's put the corners here. And then, yeah, I like that. That's nice. Nice little touch, you know, here and there. I think she's done a few. And that's a washi tape. And then you've got just a flower there. And then a bit of washi tape under there. Another corner there. And just use some of the elements. Some of the paper, look. I was going to put something here. Oh yeah, I was going to do a postcard, but I haven't got around to it. So, that's lovely. Yeah. And then she's sort of, this lent itself to the mushroom. That's a bit of stenciling, bit of napkin. And I love that page. There, just a little bit of there with a bit of stamping. And on a page there, is that a pocket? Yeah, well, it's sort of like a page and the pocket is this side. Yeah, and then she's just done a bit of sort of collage work through there. And then she's made a big pocket there at one of the pieces and then collaged some stuff. And a nice little flip out there, making use of it, and sort of added it around, yeah. A bit more washi tape on the edge of there. There on the edge of that one. Incorporated that again and then sort of overstamped it so it becomes, you know, like I said, within the page. Another index card here, pocket. And she's utilised, I love this actually, utilised that. I don't know, it's like a bingo card, isn't it? But I don't think it's bingo. Another cluster there. Decorate the page. Let's just put a little flower there to brighten up the page. Yeah. Oh, that's like a tag. Yeah. And another index little tag thing. Yeah. There's a lovely cluster there and a pocket made out of the paper. That's nice. Goes beautifully, actually. Another cluster. And I think that is it. She hasn't finished the journal yet, so there. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the things. I'm just going to take that out of there for a minute, because that's going to fall out. I'm just thinking, the envelope. I know we could say that could be clipped in. Again, works beautifully. You know, it's fabulous. Let me just get a tag. Let's have a look at the tags. And the clusters. I mean, she's got enough clusters in there anyway, so. And like, that could be, you know, put in there. So you've got a bit of pink here, and you've got a bit of pink in here. So that would work. It works. That just works. Yeah. More of a green. Now we've got a nice cluster there. We don't need to put anything there. So that could be blue. So that could bring a bit of blue in. Nice tag there. Either one. Look good. Yeah, envelope, look good. Little booklet would have to go in a little pocket, but I just wanted to do a little booklet. So these would fit in. And another one there. That would quite nice look. That could actually sort of go in here. And when it got out, it was similar to that, yeah? Yeah, so you can see what I mean, how well it all goes. Yeah, either or, those. Okay, so that is it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoy the freebie. And I'd love to see some of the work. Just tag me if you make anything and use the freebie. That would be lovely, either on YouTube or my Facebook group, or even Junk Journal Junkies. You know, I am a member there. Of course, you know, I don't go a lot on there, only for the fact that I've got my own group. And that takes most of my time, and you know, I would rather be creating for you all and making stuff for you all to use, rather than keep going on all the groups and everything. But I do appreciate every single one of you, and hopefully you enjoyed what I've done. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.